Johnson & Johnson family of companies. 125 years caring for the caregivers.
Since the age of 6, I've been a severe asthmatic. Severe in that when my asthma gets out of control, most of the time, like if I have to go to the hospital, I get intubated because I really have a hard time breathing. They have a hard time controlling it. If I have an allergic reaction, usually I have to do an EpiPen and call 911 right away and get to the hospital or I'm out of here. So it's a little scary.
Well, of course, in the beginning, she didn't come up front with, you know, everything. And then in time, I found out a little bit more and more as we got to know each other. She felt comfortable, I should say, that she can, you know, speak with me about it.
I never saw my mother have an asthma attack. My mother had grown out of it. But when she was 48, she had an attack and it got really out of control and the paramedics were called, they didn't get there in time. And she suffocated. She died. And so for a very long time, I thought I'd be dead by now. And I'm still here, so that's a good thing.
I still didn't know the seriousness of it until actually we were at a restaurant and an incident took place.
When I go to a restaurant, usually I'll ask, if I order something, I'll say there are no nuts, there are no, and I'll mention some things, and they always say no. And what happened was in this particular sauce, there was almonds, and all it has to do is just like touch my lip or my tongue, and I'm gone. And it's scary to someone that's with me that's never experienced it because all of a sudden my eyes start bulging, and my lips get really big, and I start swelling, and I get hives, and it's like, dial 911, I have an EpiPen. And I have to stab myself in the thigh. So you bring out this needle in the middle of the restaurant and you're stabbing yourself with it. And, you know, it's kind of scary.
After I found out that everything was, you know, going to be better and she was okay, then I started to think more about it and kind of, in a way, you know, I was like, okay, what am I getting myself into here? You know what I mean? Because you really got to, you know, think about this. It kind of was the situation, gave us an opportunity to talk about it, and she felt more so, okay, you know what, let me explain and tell you everything. And that's when I found out there was a lot more to find out, you know, so, because you're not going to tell someone just, you know, X amount of months to knowing them just everything.
You don't want to scare them away.
That's what she always said. She's like, I didn't want to scare you away. I don't embrace the title as a caregiver. That's what I'm doing in a way, but I don't embrace it, you know, that way because at the same time it's, you know, someone I care for, you know.
And I take care of you too, right, honey?
Yes, you do. You know, and you know, it's a thing where it's not a job, you know, but it's kind of is a job. You know, because this is something that I want to do, and I'm doing because, you know, it's from the heart. You know, she's always saying that I'm kind of like overdoing it or, you know, a little too, you know, too concerned.
I don't like to be treated like I have a problem, like I'm sick or anything like that. I don't like want to wear it on my sleeve. Like
she doesn't like to be, I feel, seen.
I want to be alone.
She wants to be by herself.
Yeah, I don't want to be a burden. I'm very independent, and before him, taking care of myself, you know, like, you know, just doing that whole thing by myself. So it's nice to have somebody that's working with me. It feels really good.
I would say everyone is placed in a certain position for a reason. You know, and I think that if they're in that position, is because they're supposed to be in that position. They're strong enough for it, they're able to deal with it, and they're going to help that person, you know, continue to grow in their life.
This program was brought to you by Johnson & Johnson in association with Good News Broadcast.